Hey, Keisha.
Jen,
What was you eating? Good.
avocado butter.
Keisha, is a food's good? What is it from?
Sorry, but um, the food is the bowl is good.
The Panic of 1893 truly began what we now call Aksarben. In a time of great economic disaster, people in Omaha were desperate for prosperity and population. After learning about festivals hosted by Kansas City and St. Louis, Missouri, the Commercial Club's executive committee proposed we also have our own celebration. Organizers traveled to pick up Mardi Gras-styled floats and supplies, and that's when a man named Dudley Smith came up with the name of the organization. He said, why not reverse the name of our beloved state since everything seems to be going backwards these days? So Nebraska spelled backwards became what we now call Aksarben. They held the parade in 1895, which comprised of tens of thousands of Midwesterns to enjoy the mystical festival.
Along with the debutante ball that they put on, started to become more popular. Not only did they bring in a lot of people, but they were also able to bring in a lot of money. Merchants were able to get farmers to sell their crops, which brought in money for the farmers and the businessmen. Over time, the Board of Governors and the Knights of Aksarben transformed from mostly merchants and those involved in agricultural commerce to leaders from the financial and insurance sectors. So the mission of the first parade was to bring in the people of Omaha and surrounding areas, engross them with the fun of the agricultural and mythological theme, and hopefully create a tradition for many years to come. And so it did. The parade became a huge hit for members to enjoy, and Omahans got to enjoy lots of other themes like Shakespeare, famous love stories, tales of childhood, and so much more.
Inside the parade was the debutante ball. The ball was very important for men and their daughters because the fathers could control their daughters' courtship. The women were to find a man that was stable financially, and the fathers could begin business relationships with the son's father. This was seen as a great success both personally and for the community, which is why the Knights of Aksarben did not get any pushback. In their rival cities like Kansas City and Missouri, their citizens thought that the festivities to be a waste of resources. In 1919, the Knights bought what was known as Aksarben Field, which housed a horse track for horse betting. They held 2 short race seasons every year until they adopted a single long season in 1927. The track was adored by all. Because pari-mutuel betting was perfectly legal, this racetrack became the #1 profit maker for the organization. The Knights, now becoming charitable organizations, were able to redeem tax-exempt privileges. They helped Nebraska farmers, provided college scholarships for over 10,000 Nebraskans and Iowans studying agriculture and education, making improvement to bridges, and so much more. A problem arose when betting became unconstitutional in 1929, causing the racetrack to close. 6 years later, the Knights were able to convince the state that because they were quite charitable, they could continue horse racing and betting. Their tax-exempt status was also put into question in the 50s, which caused quite a bit of headache for years, and eventually it was decided in 1987 that they should begin paying sales tax.
This caused 2 major issues for the organization. They were losing sales from the horse track, and the number of members were also declining. Their peak for horse betting was in 1985, where members wagered over $154 million. The government made millions from tax this year. During this time, though, they also decided to make millions of dollars worth of renovations. And unluckily, multiple other horse racetracks and a dog racetrack opened in cities in Minnesota, Iowa, and Kansas. Losing members and money to other attractions made them cut some of their charitable contributions to the community. The Aksarben Ball had to serve as a fundraiser for their scholarship program because they couldn't afford it to keep it afloat themselves. It remains that way today.
My name is Carrie Nath, and I grew up in Omaha. I grew up in Omaha, and my family would frequently go to Aksarben. It used to be a horse racetrack, and so I know my dad would sneak down there after work sometimes, and bet on the horses. But then after horse racing, it became a greyhound racing, dog racing track. And it was always just this really central spot. Everybody knew about the Aksarben track. It was a draw for Omaha. It was a super exciting time. And of course, you know, Aksarben is Nebraska spelled backward, right? In case I'm sure you came up with or featured that earlier. But and then even now, the way that they've restructured it, like with that inner rail, my family still goes down there, has dinner at the inner rail, goes over to Baxter Arena for a hockey game. We're a big hockey family. So just the area has such a history, strong history, and has been such a strong draw and something to celebrate for Omaha. And we certainly took advantage of it as a family. So it's a very cool place.
By this point, Aksarben was in $10 million of debt, and the state purchased it for $25 million. Things were not improving, and in February of 1996, the Aksarben racetrack closed for good. The property was sold to First Data Resource Inc. and the University of Nebraska at Omaha. So Aksarben has become what we know of it today. You might notice some office buildings which are owned by First Data. UNL built apartments for the students who attend the campus, as well as later built Mammal Hall, which is the College of Business Administration. Aksarben Village comprises around 60 to 70 acres and is home to dining options, shops, and entertainment for all of Omaha to enjoy.
Now Aksarben has multiple stores that people can visit. There's the Inner Rail, which has many different restaurants all in one setting, movie theater, parks, and dog parks that many people use. The store Vitality Bowls has acai bowls with many different options of toppings and flavor. They also have salad and variety of healthy food. Aksarben is located near Scott campus of UNO, so you will see many students using the sand volleyball courts and hanging out with their friends. Now, the Aksarben Ball is to recognize and celebrate citizens of Nebraska and Western Iowa for going above and beyond. This year, it will be held on Saturday, October 19th at CHI Health Center.
You can see Aksarben has made many improvements since, and the city has made it so Nebraskans can go and enjoy their time. On the sidewalks, they grow colorful tulips, and they have lights up for the night. It is a great place to go and spend time with friends. The Baxter Arena is where graduations and concerts are held. It is right across the street of the Stinson Park.